Welcome to the Zesty Ginger Podcast. We are Megan and Dr. Alex. We are here for transformation. Yours, ours, and the collective. Personal and professional for practitioners. But not just any transformation. Compassionate transformation. Because between the two of us, we have seemed to have done things the painful way. Let our pitfalls become your stepping stones. We aren't afraid to share our raw and vulnerable truths in order to help you transform your thinking, your body, your heart, and your soul. Combining 15 years of functional medicine with brain-based habit change to lead you to the best life possible in a compassionate way. Compassion, yes, yet plan to roll up your sleeves. Transformation requires your participation. And a quick reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your doctor, not this doctor, before making changes. Now let's get into the episode.
Hello there. Welcome back to the Zesty Ginger podcast and to part 4 of the possibility series. Not part 4, part 3. Cheep, cheep, scratch that. Let me tell a joke instead, because I promised you a joke. Hey guys, I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know. Yep, here we are. Silly dad jokes starting the day. If you did not listen to the first 2 parts, go on back and do that, because this is a series and it goes in order. And there's a workbook and you can fill out the workbook and you can win things like a spot in our January training. So go to zestyginger.com/possibility to get the workbook. Go back, start at number 1. And let's get into today's topic. So the biggest problem that we see in modern society is the belief that being stressed is a badge of honor, right? And I get it. We're told in society to do more, sleep when you're dead, that our worth is based on how much we marked off the to-do list. Working late is cool. Eating on the run, that's the norm. It's so easy to fall into that trap. Have you? I know I have. But let me ask you, does checking things off of your list actually lead you to be more fulfilled at the end of the day? Does your boss remember the 80 plus hours that you put in? Or were you let go as soon as it was downsized? I saw that happen all the time. Does everyone with well-balanced children take them to 8 different activities a week? I know we don't. We don't really go to any. So no, absolutely not. And you could run yourself, your libido, your energy, your relationships into the ground if you hold on to that belief. So how do you keep up and have the idea of possibility? Because when you're in fight or flight, we do not have any energy for creation, nothing for creativity, nothing for flow, nothing for abundance. Everything is used for survival. And when you're surviving, you're not creating a life of your dreams. You're not creating a project of your dreams. You are surviving. And let me ask you, do you realize that you may have made a decision around stress or your identity that is stopping you from what you want? That's what we're going to get into today. Here's what mine was. I love to share you my personal examples. I never hold back on these because people always go, that's me, Megan. When I admit them, when you admit them, these are deep and these are universal. Lots of people have these. These are not my thoughts. These thoughts are running through a lot of people's minds. So I had the belief that I don't have the time for myself. Others are more important. I actually remember when building my business saying to one of my coaches, she's like, well, where do you plan on doing this? And I'm like, I am always on borrowed time. I don't actually have time for any of this. I am just like always stealing from one time to do another. Or the belief that stress drives productivity. Many people who has that one. You believe you actually need stress to be productive. Think about what that does for us. Let's really think about that. Health problems drive my desire to learn. That's one I had. So it's like, I didn't want this consciously, but I was drawing in different situations so I could learn. I got to learn all about mold for a year. Now I have a new belief that I can learn without having the thing happening in my body. or sticking to a diagnosis, maybe sticking to it for control. So when I had one thing going on in my body and I was saying like, oh, well, I'm doing this specific diet because it's like for the fungus, it's for the mold, when really I was wanting to control something and I wanted to have like a perfect diet, and it was a distraction because I spent so much time preparing food. It was actually a distraction from the emotional work that I needed to do and some in my life, real life relationship stuff. But there's so much time spent on food and diagnosis and protocols. It was really convenient to not have to deal with my stuff. Now, that's me personally. If you're over there being like, no, I have a real thing and I don't want to be doing this all the time, I'm not saying that this is everybody. Just try it on. Look at it. We usually don't see it till later. What are you avoiding? So what is the biggest decision in your life that is stopping you from your identity? That's what we're going to get into today. Because, as my friend Carlys says, if you pee in part of the pool, you pee in all of the pool. You know what I'm saying? So these thoughts and these beliefs and these decisions, they affect everything. We're going to do the decision destroyer. So grab your workbook. It's an exercise. And we talk about these as decisions versus beliefs. So at some point, the cool thing about a decision is if you decided at one point, you can decide something else. So when did you decide this? Many people will be like, no, I just know that's how it is. Stress drives my productivity. If we look at it as a decision, a limiting decision, then we can figure out when we decided it and we can decide something else. So talk about the decision you made. Where were you when you were deciding that? Go back to that decision, whatever it is that came up for you, that you believe around stress or your productivity or your worthiness or what you do. And just before that, where were you? If you want to just close your eyes, if you're safe to, and float back to this time, where were you? Now, as you think about your present situation in life, notice how many options you have now. Think of that old thing, that old problem, and notice how it feels now. And now think about the next time you may do that thing. Know that you now have. Notice you feel much better doing it. At a time where maybe you would have taken that decision and said, oh, this is how it is. And now you can decide something different. Does it feel good to decide something different? So were you able to notice and recognize when you decided that and where you were? If you go ahead and just journal on that, take a while to journal on that, you can pause on that. Think about it, get in that, feel that, see what you're seeing and hear what you were hearing, really being there, feeling everything that was going on when you made that decision. And you can do that for each of these decisions that you've made at different times. See what you can learn from it. See how it's different now. Awesome. Because what if we hold on to things like, I have too much on my plate? What if it's not even true? What if it's just the wrong things are on the plate? As we say to people who come to our trainings, it's fast and it's last. This work is quick and easy. So what if there was something else to put on your plate that's actually quick and easy that makes all the other things no longer needed or necessary? Or are you saying you have too much on your plate? Or is that because you don't say no to the things that aren't getting your results, or the no to the things that really aren't aligned with you? It must be a lot of work to keep your plate so full. Is that an empowering belief to keep putting on your plate that I have too much on my plate? All things to noodle on today. Okay. Thank you for being here. Make sure you grab the workbook. Make sure you're filling it out every day so that you can win. We'd love to have you in January visiting us in person. So if you want to wire this in a bit faster, rewiring the brain takes repetition. Go ahead and grab the add-on upgrade $10 meditation. It's called the Staircase Meditation. You go to zestyginger.com/meditations. And if you're ready to join our January event, you can come on over and do that as well. zestyginger.com/Jan, Jan. And let's end this episode with some possibility.
Hi, I'm Carly. And the first thing I want to say is, if you had told me 6 months ago that I would be doing a voiceover for the Zesty Ginger podcast, I would not have even believed you, because my identity has grown and expanded so much in the course of 6 months that I wouldn't even have known how to dream of being the person that I am now. And it fills me up with so much light to think of the potential of, in just 6 months from now, who am I going to be? So I was a listener of the podcast. My friend sent me an episode back in April, and I slowly started listening to more and more of the episodes, and they started talking about this NLP practitioner training that they were doing. And it just seems like a dream, as something that like I'd want to do, but there's no way that I would actually do it. Just asking like, hey, do I fit in here? And that was my main concern, honestly, when I was signing up for the NLP practitioner training, was, am I going to fit in? And can I tell you, I pulled into the driveway of the Airbnb that I was sharing with 2 other ladies, and instant connection. And then at the training, what's really insane is we weren't even working on this, but all of a sudden, when I was processing with some of the tools and resources that I gained, I was taking a shower one morning, I released a bunch of emotions, and I just said to myself, I'm going to quit my job, and I'm going to do it in 4 weeks. And my whole body just like filled with energy. I don't even know how to explain it. I went back to the training, talked about it, et cetera, et cetera. Fast forward to the Monday, heading back to work, and I woke up that morning in bed, and I was like, nope, it's not going to be 4 weeks, it's going to be 2 weeks. And I walked into work, and I quit. I quit my job. That NLP training gave me the tools and resources that I needed in a week to not only step into the identity that I was dreaming of, but to trust that this identity is like a real person. And it's just like, I just need to keep showing up, and everything that I want, and even better than that, is right in front of me. I have a new family. I have new experiences. You are hearing my voice on a podcast right now. And I no longer have to question if this is reality, because I now know this is reality, and it's only going to get better from here. Bye.
Thanks for coming out to hang with us on the podcast. It is our goal to transform the way women are treated in healthcare. And we need your help. We need your help to get the word out. We have a lofty goal of 1 million downloads. And we know that as this podcast grows, we're going to be able to reach more women, get more amazing speakers for you, and bring the most cutting-edge information.
If you found these podclasses helpful, please take a moment to text 5 women you know the link to the series. We appreciate your help so much. Can't wait to see you next time.